This is our 1992 Dodge Viper RT10. This one has 28 miles. This was delivered new or sold new by Colonial Dodge in Maryland. This was never registered up until days ago. And it was the first time it was actually registered. It was bought by our client and like the other cars, sat in his collection in his airplane hangar and never moved and collected dust. This car, when we picked it up, it still has this window sticker on, VIN sticker here and barcode on the windshield, as well as some more decals. Very, very original. So as I said, 28 miles on this one, a US delivery car new, and this is now sitting in our warehouse in Washington State. This is titled in Washington State, repatriated to the United States, and is in exceptional condition throughout. The other car I had mentioned had a small scratch. This car does not have an exterior blemish that I need to point out, so very close to an original and new car in that regard. When you walk around the car, everything is gonna feel new to the touch. This is the original Michelin's on it. Again, 275 fronts, 335 rears, massive boots for back in the day for these cars. 17-inch wheels, all the original rims. When we sent these cars, so this car along with the other RT10 and this 96 GTS, this went back to our Dodge dealer that was an original Dodge Viper dealer back in the day. Again, on this one, since this hadn't run in 30 years, we did the entire kit and caboodle, let's say, we did the entire package on it. So the car was never run from when we picked it up. The car was then put on a truck and taken to the Dodge dealer. That's where they started disassembly of the car. So the fuel tank came out, they removed the fuel pump, they cleaned the fuel lines, the fuel injectors were replaced with new reconditioned fuel injectors. The plenum came off. Importantly to mention is those cylinder walls, since they had been dry for a number of years, before we wanted to start the engine, we had them, all the spark plugs were removed and replaced, but those cylinder walls were soaked with oil before they hand cranked the engine over. And that is, of course, before we actually started the car for the first time. All the fluids were changed, brakes flushed. They pulled off the rotors and just did a slight turn of them to freshen them up, as of course they hadn't moved in 30-something years. So we went painstakingly through the entire process again on this RT10, just like we had on the other RT10, to make sure that when this goes into its next collection, that has been thoroughly tested and gone through. Of course, we haven't driven it because it's got 28 delivery miles on the car, which is incredible. But we move it around all the time in here. It runs beautifully, and you know, the exhaust smells exactly as it should. As I mentioned, walking around the entire car, there's no blemishes to point out. It is just tidy, or however you'd like to say it, all the way around the car on the painted surfaces. As I mentioned on the other car, or on the other RT10, these cars were quite well known for their pimpling of the paint over the years. Either the off-gassing from the composite panels that were the Dodge Viper. This car, the other car had a small amount of it, very, very minimal. And then I would say this car, even less. It is still evident, you can still find some, but very hard to come across, and certainly until you get under the right lights, you're not gonna identify it or find them. But the rest of the exterior, the side pipes, the wheels themselves, of course, never driven down the road, so how would they get chipped or scratched? The windshield and the seals, the wipers, everything is tidy as can be. Moving into the interior, of course, the bare bones interior of these cars, pre-airbag, pre-ABS, pre-traction control. So we've got leather shift handle, leather steering wheel, leather e-brake handle, and then the rest of it, other than the seats, of course, the rest of it is gonna be different plastics. These cars, the dashboard used a texturized, kind of almost rubberized plastic. So over the years, as hands maybe touched it, there's the odd little mark in that plastic, but very, very little. The buttons from the climate control and the radio the feeling of the leather on the steering wheel, the speaker grills, the door panels, all very, very close to what you would imagine new is 30 years later. Exceptional condition, and you'll see that through the photos. So all in all, this 28-mile 1992 Dodge Viper RT10, one of 285 built for that first model year. This chassis number is number 118, so this would probably be the 118th car that was built. We took this out of a collection. This one sat for 30 odd years, essentially from delivery in 1992 until we picked it up a year ago. We put it through all the processes, all the fluids are changed, cylinders are soaked. All the preparation work was done before it was actually started for the first time, and now ready to go for the new owner. This is sitting in our warehouse in Washington State on a Washington State title, sitting in the good old United States. Please reach out if you have any questions, and we'll see you on the next one.